In another life, under another sky, in a land of eternal twilight, I was Prince Kiri Amaranth. I never did like that title. My older brother took it much better. Under the authority of the Seelie Court of the Fae, I was raised to be a callous, apathetic creature, to find joy in my station and to find worth in superiority. I hated it. So I left and found myself among the unseelie Fae, in the lands guided by the Queen of Air and Darkness. It took me almost 100 years, but I finally found a home. Then the war came. I served my new people as a healer, as much as I could, anyway. But it wasn't enough. We lost. The Queen was sealed away, her armies banished, and that's how I found myself in Sanmaria. And for 15 years, all I wanted was to go home. Somehow, I got my wish. And I returned to a Feywild with no place left for me. I really did think that was it, but somehow, my friends from Sanmaria followed me across the Vale, and my dear, beloved Vesper somehow gave me the power to wake my queen. She's alive. And the strangest thing of all is that I don't think I want to go home anymore. During my absence, something killed an Archfey, and for all their wars, that is something the courts would themselves never dare to do. But the Whispered One and his mad Lich King are a problem too big to ignore, and so I won't. And I will pursue this calling to the ends of the earth if I have to. For myself, for all people, and for my queen.
I always wanted to be special, to prove I was more than just a simple halfling from a backwoods farming community. My life has been a laundry list of struggles, disappointments, and shortcomings. And worse yet is that my mother doesn't let me forget that she's keeping track of them all. My name's Devereaux Thistlebrook. My dad left me and my family behind in Featherton when I was really little. I never really understood why, but I always looked up to him. I dreamed of traveling the world like he does. So I left home nearly 2 years ago on a whim, hoping to get a whiff of adventure and experience new, exotic places, see mysterious sights, and feel like a true explorer, someone of legend. My travels so far have led me into ancient ruins, derelict fortresses, fey-touched swamps, and even ancient dragons' nests. I even ran into my dear old dad, Clark, along the way. Turns out I may be a bit more than ordinary after all. You see, my dad is a deva, a celestial being. More than that, he was kicked out of his celestial home by a god. A god, with a capital G. Some of his power and personality must have rubbed off on me, though, because I've discovered I have some magical aptitude. The feathers growing on my back just complicate things a bit. While I don't know exactly what the future holds for me, I do know that I want to learn more about my own heritage, all while doing more research on the Fae, elven legends, and all the other mysteries of the world. Someday, I'll make a real great discovery and be remembered for all of my accomplishments. Until then, I'm going to keep traveling with my friends so that I can finally prove I'm worth more than my mom thinks.
Good day. My name is Finley Marina Moncroy. I'm not sure why you'd care to know the details of my name. I don't think it's important who I was or where I came from, but more who I am and where I am now. So, let's start again. You may call me Finley, Finn if we become close, but we will not. I'm on a mission from the Raven Queen, and I'm not sure how much I'm supposed to tell you, but suffice it to say it's pretty important. Not because of names or stations, but because she saw something in me. I'm not about to question that, because now I finally have something to do that feels useful, and I get to be out on the road. You may question it, you would not be the first, but I do not particularly care. I enjoy a good book, a nice tea, and keeping up with the latest fashion. Do not look at me like that. It's possible to look nice and be useful at the same time. What else? What would make you feel as though you know Finley Moncroy? That I trained my horse Badger from when he was a foal? Perhaps that I started fundraising for war orphans while I was training with the other clerics? My favorite song is Save a Dance for Yanira. Sometimes I like to sit out among the stars and just think of what other worlds might be out there, what other planes might hold. Do you feel like we know each other now? No? How terribly surprising. I have hopes and dreams, same as anyone, but I am afraid I will need to get to know you a little better before I share such things.
Imagine a girl venturing in darkness to find ways to help people. Her love for others stronger than the fear of the unknown. And yet cast out by her family for being far too brave. What we fear isn't darkness itself, it's the monsters that lurk in it. Twist it. Defile it. We scorn and shun those wretches because of this dread, but by proxy, all who even touch the shadow. I ask you to put aside this fear, and instead keep a watchful eye on those who seek to harm and rise against them. Especially those that lavish in the light, for there are monstrosities that don't need the gloom to do evil. Do not be afraid. Imagine being struck a mortal blow in battle, only to be given more time to be healed. Imagine a victim, the sole witness of a murder, pulled back from the veil to elucidate who must be brought to justice. Imagine a parent, a traveler killed on their way home, but granted the last gift to say goodbye to a mourning family before passing on. Imagine the girl who did nothing wrong, a girl who loves her son. Imagine the son, a son cursed, unafraid of the wilds, an echo of an infernal pact, an echo of light in the dark.
There's no waiting. We're live.
I'm not ready.
Oh, hey friends. We're back and it looks like we don't have any dropped frames. Knock on wood.
Hello, everybody,
I'm watching.
and welcome to Late Chosen.
Session 2. In a row. Or whatever.
You're welcome.
Okay, does anybody want to play Kiri today?
Are we switching everybody up? Can I be Leona?
Yes.
Okay.
Kappa, thank you so much for our recap. I think we should just get right fucking into it.
Please, I don't want to do it again.
Do it again.
Aboleths. Done.
Having a chronic cough during Corona really sucks.
Ooh.
Excuse me. Where are we gonna start off? Anybody?
Next morning.
The next morning.
Next morning.
I actually, you know what? From an audience perspective, I'm kind of interested to see what Devereaux thinks about our new digs.
Yeah, that's right.
New digs?
Y'all are sleeping in the temple
chilling.
of Pelor.
Oh. That sounds cozy. What's it look like?
It's a small temple built, looks like built by hand by just a couple of people. You recognize a building like this. This is a building that was built out of necessity. As much love and work was put into it as possibly could, but you notice there are still some areas that are not perfect by any means, and nobody's trying to hide those things. But there are some beautiful mosaic stained glass windows, lots of light in here. Several, maybe 5 or 6 rows of pews on each side. A massive sort of pulpit area with an altar to Pelor, a serving or a bowl where people can make offerings and light candles and that kind of thing. Y'all, it might have really been all of the Alexes.
Sounds lovely.
It is. It's homely. It's nice and homely. And the priest whose name is right on the tip of my tongue. Falcor? I don't know. Oh my god. Let me get the Farkle.
Roll.
Farkle. Farkle. That was an audience named NPC.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that was Andrew Fellowship of the Tables. Thank you, Bay of Gifts, for that beauty. Seems to be a nice gentleman. He invited you to dinner that evening, and you were treated to fine stew from his wife, and it was a lovely evening overall. Now you find yourselves about to get some rest.
Okay. Well, I don't know about the rest of y'all, but I'll probably stay up and write a couple letters. Because I got shit to do at this point.
Does anybody stay up to keep watch, or are you all trusting? That sounds like a really tricky DM question. I'm just curious.
I'm
I would keep watch out of habit.
I only
Not
need
that I
4
think there's
hours.
any danger.
Gotcha.
I was just gonna say I only need 4 hours of sleep, so like from like 12 midnight on, I'm probably good to go.
Finley would probably have trouble sleeping for so many reasons. My poor disaster baby. After talking to Echo, she'd probably take a walk around before writing her own letters. I think I said she.
Who are all these letters to? Devereaux, Finley.
I would write one home to my sister. I would write one to Gert. And I would write in my journal as well.
Beautiful.
Particularly writing notes about mummies.
Mummies.
Yeah.
Finley. Eva has a terrible memory. Finley will write a letter to Zytharia. She will fill in the title page of her book in her brand new journal. And she will fill out a brief letter to, if they sleep before she does, to Devereaux, and she'll try and slip it in their bag.
What does this letter say?
Wouldn't that be a better question for when they read it?
Oh my god. Yes, it would. Can you, message it to me so I know? Because I'm nosy?
Because you're nosy.
Because I'm the dungeon master and I deserve to know?
Roll perception, DM, please.
Shut up. This is anarchy!
Wait, are you slipping that in my bag while I'm asleep? Okay, I sleep like a log, so...
Yeah. I don't even think Devereaux takes watches.
Never. Well, no, I did that one time. And nothing happened.
Solid basis for assuming nothing will happen.
Exactly. There's never been anything bad that happens on watch.
Never. I'm about to ban some people from chat. They're being ridiculous. Okay. I can't. You're right. Finley, you write your letters. Devereaux, you write your letters. Echo. Doing Echo stuff.
Yeah, just it's more habit out of anything to keep watch and just absorb the quiet that is the Temple of Pelor here in Hanleaf.
Yeah. And Kiri.
I'll honestly probably doing very much the same thing, just kind of chilling out. I go out, I do my thing that we covered last session, and I'll probably just come back in the temple and wait for everybody to wake up for a few hours.
Finley, do you take the second watch? So it would be Echo. Somebody would need to take watch, and then Kiri would be able to take the second 2 watches. Finley, would you like to take the second watch?
Yes.
Sure. On your watch, the door to the Temple of Pelor gently opens. Oh, wait, that's not right. Gently opens. And it is probably at this point midnight. So it's late. But you see a familiar face in the doorway. It's Niam.
What is he doing?
You watch as he sort of peeks his head in the door and catches your eye.
I'll stand and I assume I was just probably pretending to write. And I'll go over to the door.
Are you busy?
Terribly. I mean, look at this. It's bustling in here. Someone has to hold down the fort.
Would you like to be?
Yes. What have you got in mind?
There is an abandoned temple just south of here I'm staying in. I thought you'd be interested to see it.
You thought right. You'll forgive me one moment. She will retrieve the sword and her warhammer. Shall we?
He holds the door open for you and gestures for, you to follow.
She'll incline her head slightly and what time is it?
Midnight.
She will look back. And how does Kiri's trance seem to be going?
It's a great question.
I am probably just getting out of it right about now.
Would you be aware enough to see her at the door?
Probably.
Okay, she's just gonna do a little not to worry, and
You would probably see Niam too.
Okay, yeah. So, at this point, very much thinking, well, their business is their business, and I will let them go.
It's probably for the best. Eva, I have a question for you. Should we go through this little adventure, or should we save it for a roleplay addiction?
I think roleplay addiction.
Beautiful. Beautiful. How late do Finley and Liam stay out? 3 hours?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, she'd come back by the morning.
Okay. So towards as the dawn begins to rise, Finley creeps back in. Devereaux is still not awake. Echo, since you took the first watch, you would still be sleeping as well. So it's just Finley and Kiri.
She'll come back in through the main doors and set her warhammer and the sword down and sit back with her stuff.
Whatever happened there is still very much Finley's business, so I'm...
All quiet here then.
Yeah, Devereaux usually can function on 8 hours of sleep, but I do believe they would prefer 12. Point being, you genuinely shouldn't expect much from them when they're asleep, at least.
I'll make a note. I've learned to do a lot on not a lot of sleep. So.
I don't sleep.
It must be nice. Do you dream?
No.
Interesting. Do you have dreams when you're awake?
I think about things, but I'm usually... Well, I can usually remember what I think about, and I can...
Kiri, what are your hopes? What do you want?
You know, honestly, I don't really know anymore. I spent a long time wanting to go home, but... things have changed.
That's fair. For the better. Or for the worse.
Both? I believe I have changed for the better in having to deal with something for the worse. Something like that. What about you?
I have the opposite problem. I've spent so long trying not to go home, and now I might have to.
And where's home?
Asmern? I know you all were there sometime, so you must have known what happened.
Yes, a little bit.
Yes. As far as dreams, I don't. I do have some when I sleep. Sometimes nightmares, sometimes dreams, usually the same. As for life, I don't know. Nothing that really seems achievable right now, you know.
Oh, believe me, do understand that. You know, if you don't mind, I have a bit of an unusual question for you.
Oh, aye.
Who is the Raven Queen to you as an individual?
She is like a bit like a lighthouse. I assume lighthouses exist. She's a bit like a lighthouse in that she helps guide some of my choices. And she provides a safe harbor. And she kind of goes deeper than I thought, actually. But she's also immovable. And to me, she wouldn't be anything without the lighthouse keeper, you know. So I suppose I'm still sort of figuring it out. But that's sort of how I see it. I don't know if that answers your question. It's hard when I sort of have my own questions about it.
I get that part too.
What about your queen?
I grew up hearing quite a lot about her. None of it good. She was supposed to be our enemy. And I guess to some extent she was, but I don't know. I left what I suppose you could call my first home. And I found myself living under her authority, and it was a very significant movement. I never really understood why people worship gods, and I hope you'll forgive me for perceptions. But they always seem like these very far away, very distant alien things. And do not get me wrong, the Queen of Air and Darkness is more than a powerful being. But she's still a little bit like us. She still walks around a plane that she technically has no ultimate authority over. She has enemies. She can and has been wounded. I suppose some people would make the argument that that makes her somehow weaker or less powerful, and I suppose from a very detached point of view that might even be true, but from my perspective, I do believe that makes her all the stronger.
Can I tell you a secret?
Of course.
I spent a year of my life asking any god I thought would answer for anything, for help, for a sign, for just some sort of hope. And I got nothing. All I got was smoke in return. And it was people in the end, who stepped in and filled that role. So I don't know about your culture, your any of that, but I do understand the distance of gods. And I can appreciate that in your queen.
Does the Raven Queen let you find your own purpose, chart your own path towards some goal of your own choosing?
I would say yes, although, and she's going to gesture at the sword. Right now, it's sort of more of a task I've been given, but I also asked for it, I suppose. So, and I'm left to figure it out on my own, which I suppose you could say is being left to my own devices in a good sort of way. I've spent a lot of time not doing much of anything. This is really the first time I'm testing the bounds, both of my faith and what she'll let me do. So yes, but I suppose I'll let you know. Oh, I suppose you'll probably notice one way or another.
Of course, yeah. If you'll forgive the interrogation, I do have one more question.
Go ahead.
So, if I've already died and been brought back, you don't have to kill me again, do you? I know undead isn't really your thing, so...
I sort of feel like it'd be a bit rude.
I do too, and...
a waste of a good diamond.
Yeah. A lot of extra steps there.
So many extra steps. Honestly, undead bad. But also hypocrisy sort of bad. Metaphysical and moral discussions aside, it seems a bit rude to be upset about something that happened to me too. So, you know, if you go, I go, I guess. Oh, I'm sorry. Did you want a hard no? Hard no.
Or people have a lot of opinions about undead, and
they do.
To be honest, you bringing me back did kind of give me some inclination, but I did have to ask.
I mean, you could have said no.
That is true. That is true.
It's at this time that Echo you begin to rouse.
Finley, why are you fully dressed?
Morning, sunshine.
All
We're ready to go. We've just been waiting on you.
right, let's go. I'm ready.
Devereaux is knocked out. Still in there.
Where are we going?
That is an excellent question.
There are a couple things I want to check on, but other than that, I'm a little worried. That person that we fought up and a few days ago had a lot of bodies.
You know, if we're going to start talking bodies, maybe we should rouse Devereaux and have this talk over some breakfast.
Yeah, no, that sounds great. Talk of dead bodies over some eggs. Cool. Did Devereaux have that person's effects journal?
I believe they did.
Maybe there's something in there. I'll go find Farkle and let him know that we might be heading out for the day in case he needed us for anything.
And I will go wake up Devereaux. Hey, Dev. Dev, you there?
Oh. Carrie, what time is it?
I'm honestly not sure. Maybe 8, but don't quote me on that.
You let me sleep in again, didn't you?
A little bit, as much as I could. But Echo started talking about dead bodies, so.
Oh. It's a bit early to be talking about that, don't you think?
Maybe, maybe not.
You know, you could get me up earlier next time. You don't have to keep letting me sleep.
I could get you up earlier, but I know that you like to sleep.
Well, I also like to be awake when my friends are awake, so... Well, either way's fine. I'm up now.
Okay.
All right. So...
And I'll tell you what, next time I will wake you up. And then if
Perfect.
you tell me to let you sleep at that point, I will continue to let you sleep.
All right. Try not to send mixed messages.
Well, anyway, come on. Echo wants to talk about these dead bodies over eggs.
That 9 hells does he think... All right, fine. That's great. That sounds great. That sounds absolutely great. I will roll out of bed. Whatever that happens to be. A cot or a bedroll or whatever.
Yeah, it's a it's a bedroll between pews, essentially. You are all able to head to the Pink Pig's Plum for breakfast. It's still a little ashy here. What's wrong, Ethan? I love this game.
I thought it burned down.
Just the inn.
Oh, all right.
The tavern is still serving breakfast in a sort of like, oh my god, I cannot stop yawning. And sort of everybody's coming together to bring breakfast to the town. You are all able to order some eggs, some breakfast sausage, etc. The day is yours.
So I decided to hang out with you, Kiri, Dev, in order to, prove my worth, show that I'm trustful. And I don't know if I'm there yet, but I am still on my sort of quest.
Oh, yeah, right. Your quest.
Yeah. Again, you two are the last known people to have interacted with this book that I'm looking for. And that's back burner project at this point in time, but I'd still appreciate some help, maybe. We made a pretty good team these past few days, taking out, investigating, just bad necromancy. There's some stuff in Wolfcrest that I think is calling my attention, and I think if I had 3 of you with me, I'd feel more whole.
Are you
Mull it over for the day.
You're asking us to go with you.
I'm asking if that's something that we could do.
Do you two have other? I'm here to support you. Is there something somewhere else we should go? Honestly, this is a quaint little town, but probably worth moving on.
No, I agree. I'm not entirely sure there's very much left for us here, but Wolfcrest keeps us in this general area, and I don't necessarily mind that. There's something I would like to do while we're up here, but preparing for it might probably be the best course of action. And in answer to your question, Echo, I will defer to Deborah's judgment at the moment. However, I, at this point, do not believe I would have any problems telling you what I know about the book that we found.
You're deferring to me.
I am, yes, because if you and I found this together.
Well, out of the two of us, I didn't read any of it, so you're the greater expert than I am. But I don't see the harm in it.
Well, ask away, I suppose.
Oh, okay. Cool. Just light breakfast topics to talk about.
You wanted to get eggs?
I did. Okay. I don't expect these questions to be particularly easy, but from my understanding, this book has very powerful forbidden knowledge in it.
That appears to be correct.
What do you think makes it so important? You're the one that read it. I have no idea what it does. Nope.
No idea.
I just know that it's a very powerful artifact, relic that necromancers
gravitate towards, almost worship.
Oh dear. Oh dear, indeed. The book we found was, I believe, entitled The Godfall, and it contained extensive notes on how an author believed each god and greater entity in across very many planes could be killed. We don't have
Is that-
particular detail on all of it, but
Is that possible?
if I were sitting where you are, I would have said it wasn't. But there was also a section on Archfey with which I studied extensively as I could, given a short amount of time. And there was a death recorded in there, which turned out to be true when I got a chance to go back home for a bit. So, if it's not all true, at least one entry was.
And there's only one known copy of this book. Or are there more?
I copied down specific sections, but I ended up burning them.
And those burned. But the book did
Those
not.
did. Yes, that is accurate.
Okay. Okay. So knowing why it's important, what information is in there, kind of, it tells me that there's a specific goal in the mind of certain if a cult were to have this book, there's the only reason why is because they are trying to eliminate competition. What?
I think there's another question. If you can kill a god, could you then bind that god after?
Ooh. That's a scary thought.
Finley, make a Constitution saving throw.
Guess the eggs aren't agreeing with me. Hope. It's a 6.
There's a dull ache in the back of your head. Nothing else. On the pain scale of 1 to 10, maybe like a 3.
I'm sorry. Can I flag down a Is Becca there?
She's not today.
Rude. Is there a Becca associate that
Yes.
I could get
Becca
some water
adjacent.
from?
Yes. You're able to get some.
Great.
I think either way, my goal is to destroy this thing and stop anyone who tries to use it. So the last thing I'd like to know is where was it taken from you?
Just outside Overness, give or take a few miles.
So maybe I start there.
Now, granted, I don't know if the silence can be tracked from Wilderness. So I don't know if it's even possible to find them if you start there, but that's at least where they were when we encountered them.
Okay. But it's a strong enough lead. Thank you.
I mean,
Go. You go. No, you go. Go. Do it.
I was just going to say it does not sound like this is something that should be out in the world. Probably for anyone. I think it's worth trying to track it down.
Call me optimistic, but has anyone ever considered that maybe, and Kiri, tell me if you think I'm wrong, but do you think the Silence took the book so that they could, I don't know, keep it secret and stow it away so no one could ever see it? Does that sound like something that would make sense, or am I just like hoping for the best?
Ostensibly, that is what they intended on doing. I don't know if we can trust them, but that is at least what they told us their intent was.
I'm sorry. Didn't they steal the book from you?
Yes, they did.
Okay, so I feel like trust is sort of off the table. Maybe.
Perhaps.
Well, in their defense, I think they tried asking nicely at first, but we didn't give it to them, so things got weird.
The optics of that do seem a little less than ideal, but I still think even in the hands of a secret organization, it's still better off destroyed.
Do you even know how you would destroy it if you got your hands on it?
No. I have ideas, but no.
Well,
I mean, the only thing that she tried was regular fire, right?
and tearing it.
And
Don't
tearing
tear
it.
it.
Okay, don't.
Don't.
That is a good idea and a good thing to know. But I feel like that leaves quite a bit of other things available to try.
It most definitely does. But
Look, worst case, we chain it up and toss it in the sea. Sure, nothing could go wrong there.
I'll tell you what. If we do begin looking for it, how about we at least find out what to do with it once we get it first? Because I'm not really sure that's something we want to hold on to. It didn't work out for us well last time.
It doesn't sound like it did. How far away is that town, would you say?
GM, how far away is Overness from here? It's like far, right?
Oh man,
Yeah, we got a raid.
you're on the welcome raiders. We are on the other side of the continent. It would be faster to go to Wolfcrest and then circle back around.
Let's do that.
Yeah.
We're gonna circle the globe?
You can certainly try.
Never circled the globe before.
It's faster. Yeah, it would be faster to go via ocean, like around the back of the map, than it would be across the vast continent.
We could be pirates.
Gonna be
My God!
We could be. We could fight a shark.
Seafaring adventure.
I'm done with
Yay!
y'all. We're okay. That's it for today.
But yes, and this okay, so this whole business with Wolfcrest, I feel like there's some sort of connection here. I don't know. I can't explain it. It's a feeling. Devereaux, you have some of that necromancer, their effects, correct? Did you read through any of it?
Yeah. I was reading through it right before this place burned down.
Okay, maybe let's not try that again right now then. Okay,
Well, I don't think reading it caused the fire, but Tovar had some really colorful notes and some lovely stories in his journal, and it made for a really suspicious narrative. But if you want, and I'll wait. Do we bring our stuff with us or leave it at the temple?
Y'all probably brought your stuff with you. Might as well.
I can reach into my bag and I'll pull out the crappy little journal. Well, you saved it from the fire, so by all rights, you should get next dibs on reading it. Echo.
Sure. I'd appreciate that. Just to enlighten myself.
Devereaux, how many books did you find on that person?
On Tovar?
Yeah.
He had just his journal.
Okay.
I got a whole bunch of weird books from that hideout / mummy hangout. What do you call a place where mummies are?
I don't know.
Tomb?
That's
It didn't-
over it, yeah.
It didn't really feel like a tomb, though. In fact, I haven't even looked at those books yet. I've got 13 of them, so I'm going to have a lot of reading to do.
So when should we leave for Wolfcrest?
I'm good after
As-
breakfast.
Yeah. Finley, you said you wanted to make sure the artifacts we found in the mountain made it somewhere safe.
I can do that in Wolfcrest. GM, there's a temple to the Raven Queen in Wolfcrest, right? Yes.
A massive one, the second largest one.
Okay. I can find a home for them in Wolfcrest. Is there tea and specifically sugar on the table?
Yes.
I would like to pocket some of the sugar, please.
Okay. Are you doing it stealthily?
I am not making a grand gesture about it, but I am just reaching over, grabbing
Sure.
it, and sticking it in my pocket.
Sure. Okay. Death Keepers. What's your plan?
I just have one more thing that I would like to do before we leave for Wolf Crest. That's it. That's where we're going. Actually, you know what? Never mind. That doesn't make sense. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, no, nothing. I think actually, I'd like to sell the double-bladed scimitar.
Who would you like to try and sell it to?
If there's a market, or a smith, or something.
Make an investigation check.
Okay. Here's my dice. That is 17.
Okay. You are able to find one of the owners of the Pig's Plum, whose name also escapes me. But it's one of those three that the audience named. It's a beautiful specialized weapon, and he is able to purchase it for 50 gold is what he can offer you.
Sure, I'll take it.
Sweet.
I have one thing I would like to do before we go as well.
Oh, go ahead, Devereaux.
I would like to hire a courier to deliver my letters.
Sure, go ahead and mark off 6 silver.
6 silver?
Yes.
With gusto.
I only have 4 pages left in my little Camille notebook.
Oh dang.
Yeah. Okay. Death's Keepers, would you like to head on the road to Wolfcrest? It was the Durnhammer brothers. Thank you, Eva. One of the Durnhammer brothers. We'll say it's going to take you 3 days. However, y'all had mentioned in chat, in y'all's individual chat, wanting to find a particular place. Was that before or after Wolfcrest? Because according to Devereaux's map, it is just north of where y'all are. Do y'all know what I'm talking about?
Oh, I do know what you're talking about.
I also know what you're talking about.
Do we want
Finley
to do
does. I mean, how far off the beaten path is it?
It would add 2 days to your journey.
What have we got but time?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Who brings how do y'all just decide as a group to go look at this skeleton army?
Do Finley and Echo know about this thing to begin with?
That's why I was like, Eva's on board, but Finley has no idea what's going on.
Sure.
I would say the second day, Devereaux, you are pulling up your map, and as you look, you see that undead army is just north of you, supposedly.
Oh. Hey, everyone. I have kind of a weird pitch for you all. I know we're kind of in the middle of going somewhere, but what if I were to say that there is a regional point of interest that we all might like to scope out?
Whatever do you mean?
Like a giant wheel of cheese or something.
Well, it would be a
Also, as a point of order, Niam is also going to Wolfcrest. Would you like him to join you? Okay.
It's a giant something, that's for sure. And well, it kind of goes hand in hand with what we were talking about it over breakfast the other day. Skeletons and undead and stuff.
Is it?
It's a big undead army, maybe, possibly. It could be. I'm not 100% certain, but
Oh, no, okay, no. Hang on. You just happen to know of a giant undead army, and you were just keeping that in your pocket, were you?
no, I was keeping it on my map, but I didn't want to. Well, I mean, it wasn't going anywhere, and it certainly wasn't getting any older.
Do you know, does it
and-
move on your map? Does your
No.
map update you on where the undead army is?
No.
Oh, okay. How? How, where?
My whole deal is fighting undead.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not blaming you in any sort of way, but how big?
Well, I mean, that's really subjective because how many undead is too many undead?
Okay, that's okay. What makes you use the word army to begin with? Let's start with that.
Well, that was the wording that came out of the materials where I found the approximate. Okay.
What materials and when was this? Was this last night, perhaps? Well,
Oh no.
girls. Okay.
Look, the when and how isn't necessarily the most important part. The fact of the matter is we do know, and what are we gonna do about it?
Well, I mean, if you've been sitting on this information for like 5 years, they might not still be there. Is my main question. I think.
Oh, it hasn't been that long.
Okay.
It's closer to 3 or 4 months, maybe.
Okay. Oh, so you both knew about the. Okay. That's good and also troubling.
Have you told anyone?
I have. I've told somebody who assured me that she had quite the powerful connections with the Empire and all of that good stuff. So,
Oh, and did the Empire
Granted.
step in and take care of them, do you think? Or do you
No,
think it's
I-
more likely they're still up there fucking around being a skeleton army?
no, I do very much most certainly believe that it is more likely that they are still up there fucking around being a skeleton army. However, we've done to a large extent what we could because we very clearly are not equipped to deal with this on our own. We've let the Empire be known, and that is to some extent all we could do in this situation.
Oh,
I agree with you. I agree with you. There's very little that we could do against an army. I think you've done your best. I think you've done the right thing, but I think I can't ignore this. I really can't. I have to do something. At least check it out.
Yeah,
At least look at it so I can tell someone, maybe the Empire.
oh, the Empire. Hey, Badger, did you know there's a whole skeleton army north of us? That's as much good as it's gonna do to tell the Empire,
Then
obviously.
who do you think we should tell, or do you think we should
Literally
have them up
anyone
there
else. Literally anyone else. Like,
we just told you.
like Badger?
well, you told the Empire, right? And what
Mhm.
good? Do you think that has done?
We don't know.
So
We should
who
go.
else?
We should go see. We should go see.
Okay.
Very
20 gold
little.
on them still being there and not dealt with.
Then we go and give and find out as much as we can to give someone else, not the Empire,
Yes, good.
the best
who
fighting
else?
chance.
Yeah,
I'm
That's a
certainly.
question I
reconnaissance.
have asked you. Because apparently telling the Empire was not satisfactory. What other significant force are you aware of that could deal with this problem? Because I'll tell you, I'm not aware of it. If the Empire has not moved, that is, yes, a very large problem, and I agree with you on that. However, is it necessarily our fault? I would not say so. We've done all we could, but if the Empire is being an empire, that's not a problem we can solve.
Oh, but looking for alternatives could be, if we're going to be checking it out at all. Obviously, if it's an army, either big A or little a, that's still too many for 4 people. I agree. That's
How much of a detour? How much of a detour are we talking if we're going to go look?
Echo, if you do look at Devereaux's map, you could probably figure it out pretty easily. Especially
I do
since
a good job.
Yeah, especially since A, Devereaux's map is very good, and B, mountains are your favorite terrain.
Great.
And C, you know this area. Sort of.
Oh, cool. Then sure. Devereaux, if you'll allow me, can you point me to where they are on the map?
Yeah, I drew a giant skull and crossbones where they were supposed to be.
And so looking at it, how long would this detour take us?
A day and a half there, a night's rest, and then a day and a half back.
Back to this point, could we loop?
It would be a triangle, so you wouldn't lose too much time.
Okay. It really is not that much time.
See, that's why I brought it up right now, because I figured it would be the best time to address it.
Thank you. Thank you for bringing it up, Devereaux.
Quick question. And did we mention this to Fate's Chosen / does Fate's Chosen? Because I feel like we did, but also I'm not positive.
Didn't you tell Leona?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were already aware of the army.
Okay, would it be reasonable for me to believe if I've spoken to Leona about it that Zytharia probably knows?
You do know Zythari does not always travel with Leona and Fate's
Okay,
Chosen.
sure.
Saw how dysfunctional they were. There's no way that they always tell everyone the important details of everything going on.
that Red or Devereaux.
That was Ren.
I would like to, while this discussion is going on, cast Sending to Zytharia.
You get no response.
Okay.
What does your sending say, though, just for posterity?
Hey, sorry, just sort of a little thing going on here. Giant undead army sound familiar, maybe? Hope this isn't a test. Love you. Be safe.
Unfortunately, for the last several days, I would say 3 days, your messages to Zytharia have gone unanswered. And that is where we're going to take our halfway break. Find out what happens when Death's Keepers goes after this undead army when we come back.
Oh baby, I love your madness. It's so incredibly beautiful. Oh, you shine like gold, so selfless to all, and wild like an animal. Some would say I'm insane in the right in a way, but I just love to play in your fun and your games. Always hungry for more, that's just how I was born. Take me somewhere I don't know, and give me your freedom. Whoa, you love me to pieces, yeah, I need it. Want your pandemonium, life is so easy. Whoa, you love me to pieces, yeah, I need it. Want your pandemonium. The limit of love is endless, I know. Just do what you want with me. Yeah, I want it all. Could care less the cost. I give you my everything. Some would say I'm insane in the right in a way, but I just love to play in your fun and your games. Always hungry for more, that's just how I was born. Take me somewhere I don't know, and give me your freedom. Whoa, you love me to pieces, yeah, I need it. Want your pandemonium, life is so easy. Whoa, you love me to pieces, yeah, I need it. Want your pandemonium. Oh baby, I love your madness. It's
Welcome to our Patreon. Here on Open for Adventure, we are making high quality Dungeons and Dragons content, folks. We have a great big world to share with you, and by becoming a patron, you can help us explore and expand upon this adventure. With your support, we can invest in more amazing artwork, better mics, fancy cameras, and overall stream quality. Not to mention, help us get some amazing new merch that we can use for giveaways. What do you get by becoming a patron? I'm so glad you asked. Let's take a look at the different levels and give you a sneak peek at what you can get at each tier. Did you know that the family of the First Lord Theo, the leader of the rebellion against the Empire, actually invented firearms nearly 25 years prior to the current campaign? The designs for this high-tech weapon are the Delaney family's best-kept secret. Also, they were originally invented by the late First Lady Victoria, Theo's mother. Access to lore leaks like this is what you can expect from the first tier, written in blog-style posts after each weekly session. Ever wonder what goes on off-camera? The next 3 tiers give you exactly that. With Stolen Moments, you can get access to text-based roleplay moments, highlighting experiences that don't make it onto the stream, like Leona's training session with Ray and Asmrin. Stolen Moments Plus gives you access to roleplay moments featuring our guests, non-player characters, and historical figures, featuring the likes of Marshall, Annalena, and even the Empress herself. And Roleplay Addiction takes us to a whole other level. This tier gives you exclusive 30-minute videos of canon interactions not otherwise seen on stream, like late-night drunken interactions between paladins or tender moments featuring your favorite character ships. The Warm Fuzzies is super simple. It's everything I've listed so far, and also you get your name on stream after our weekly regular sessions. Every session. And our undying love. And finally, the most epic of all Patreon tiers, Drum roll, please. The Lore Master. This ultimate and final tier gets you first look access at all of the content going into our upcoming, official, open for adventure campaign setting. Lore, maps, monsters, items, dungeons, dragons. Go ahead, have a look around, make yourself at home, and consider becoming a patron to help us make this fantasy world a little bit closer to reality.
Oh, hi! My name is Express Love. I'm the Senmarian god of coffee. Did you know that in Senmaria, every cup of coffee is made with found familiar coffee beans? That's canon. In Senmaria, every cup of coffee is good coffee because it's made with love by Found Familiar. Did you know that every bag of Found Familiar coffee features artwork from incredible members of the tabletop gaming community? That's canon. Each blend and roast of Found Familiar coffee features cool D&D names like Thieves' Cant, Face Step, and Pact Magic. In Senmaria, every royal meeting that Ray attends features the Cartographer's Blend, a brew of coffee made by Found Familiar in conjunction with Devin Rue. Now that's canon. Found Familiar coffee. Buy it today.
Oh baby, I love your madness. It's so incredibly beautiful. Oh, you shine like gold, so selfless to all, and wild like an animal. Some would say I'm insane in the right and away, but I just love to play in your fun and your games. Always hungry for more, that's just how I was born. Take me somewhere I don't know, and give me your freedom. Whoa, you love me to pieces, yeah, I need it. Want your pandemonium, life is so easy. Whoa, you love me to pieces, yeah, I need it. Want your pandemonium. The limit of
Eggplant emoji.
Yes, it did it.
That's it for today, y'all. Why am I so high on my screen? Welcome back. The party is currently arguing? Question mark.
I wouldn't say arguing. I'd say we've come to the same conclusion and have agreed on an action, just with some elevated voices and words.
Hey, what does Niam think?
Niam will. Hold on, I need everybody to witness how much Max hates it.
He's such a good boy.
Look at how tiny he is. He's as big as a cat.
He's so sick of Asmo's shit.
Listen, the pet is petting another pet, so I'd say it's getting redeemed.
Yeah, I'd say it is being redeemed.
You're not the boss here, Kappa.
Max, do you want a piece of brownie? Do you want a cracker? Come here. Come here. Welcome back to the stream where we just give our pets crackers all the time. Niam is going to go ahead with his journey. He wants to try to connect with his sister. But he says he'll meet y'all in Wolfcrest when you get there. He also wishes y'all the best of luck.
Well, have a safe trip.
Echo, why don't you roll a survival check for me? With advantage.
Okay. That's an 18 and a 19 straight roll, so survival is a +3. 22.
Oh, wow. As you take your party northwards, it starts to grow increasingly colder. As you know, you are increasing in elevation. There's an old rumor about the White Cliffs, something that people like to say to each other, and you never really understood it. There's nothing north of the White Cliffs. You do know that the White Cliffs do end. They end in the Glacial Pass. Glacial Pass is a massive frozen river that spans the north of the continent. And it's not just that you go north into the White Cliffs and then you are able to get into the Glacial Pass. It is a massive, couple 100 feet cliff. And then glacier. You are moving towards the Glacial Pass. You do know that. However, this is uncharted territory because it is almost always winter here. This area does not receive a reprieve from the cold, from the icy wind, from the snow, from the hail. It is constantly battered. And as you lead your party northwards, you'll find yourselves quite cold as well. Max has reclaimed his spot. You find yourselves heading... I got a little distracted by Max. You find yourselves making your way towards sort of a... what is that called? A valley between two mountains. This valley is still very high in elevation. However, with that 22 as survival check, you will know that there are no tracks around here. In fact, there's nothing here. No birds. No animals. There are brush and berries, sure. There are flora aplenty. But no fauna. It becomes eerily quiet here. What kind of pace are y'all moving at? And by that I mean, are you moving quietly? Are you just kind of marching along at your own pace?
I am trying to keep the journey as short as possible. So leading the party there to the point on the map, trying to move out as you know, finding that sweet spot between fast and safe. But as we get closer and closer, I want to be a little bit more careful.
Right.
I would follow Echo's lead.
Let me get a perception check from everyone.
14.
21.
9.
4.
Finley, a terrible shudder rolls down your back, and that dull ache in the back of your head has returned. As you all crest on sort of this valley, you find yourself in a wide basin of white. There's nothing here. Silence. And you look around, sort of continuing on. You're not quite there yet. But Finley, you have the very distinct impression that you are being watched.
I think we should be careful. I don't like this at all. Jim, is it similar to the feeling that we got that fateful first day, second day, going up to the Dawn War ruins?
Close-ish.
Yeah, okay. It doesn't feel right.
As you sort of make your way through this large basin, this valley, between these two mountains, you see it ends in a cliff. So you come up between these two mountains and there's a cliff, and beneath you the world opens up into a deeper basin of ice and rock and a few sparse trees. But as you find yourself on the edge of this cliff, Death's Keepers, you start to see movement, hundreds of feet down. Tens of thousands of movements.
Oh my god.
Skeletons, zombies, a few whites you might recognize. And then the hair on the back of your neck stands as you turn, sensing a presence behind you.
What time of day is it?
Midday.
Midday.
As you feel that watched sensation grow to a peak, who turns around first? Echo and Finley. As you slowly turn back to see the way you came, there's a lone figure there. Stands 20 feet from you. This figure is robed in dark robes. Dark reds, dark golds, blacks. You look for facial features first, but all you see is a skeleton mask. Long black hair falls down their back. Slender figure. A crown lopsided on their head. They stand there in the snow. For a moment, it takes you a moment to realize that they are not standing, but hovering slightly. You hear a deep voice, but it's not quite what you were expecting. It has a feminine quality to it almost. Welcome, Death's Keepers. I've been waiting a long time to meet you. Do not fear. She looks at you, Echo. I cannot hurt one of my own. I understand you have questions. How can I help you?
Quick question. On a scale from 1 to 10, how obvious was it that this person was referring to Echo?
7.
Okay.
Finley is going to turn her head and stare at Echo.
Do I know this person? I think I personally, Kappa, know, but would Echo know?
Have Echo roll an intelligence check for me.
Okay. Does my favored enemy proc at this point? Intelligence check to recall
Yes.
information about
Yes.
undead.
Yes.
Okay.
Technically. Although it's not the reason you're making the check. But yeah, sure, go ahead.
Okay. And what was the skill?
Intelligence.
Just straight intelligence?
Yes. Yes.
That's a 10.
Okay. Make a charisma check.
Okay. 11? No, wait, no. That's a...
You have advantages.
I do, but I don't
And a
want
crit.
I'll crit on the charisma.
Okay. This figure reaches towards the mask and pulls it up. The scraggly black hair comes with it. And instead of some disfigured, horrible-looking creature, you see a beautiful woman in her late 40s. Her black hair is in an intricate knot down her back, or across her head, tied into a bun here. I will say, she is the spitting image of your mother. She smiles at all of you.
I... speechless, fall to my knees.
Echo, we're just gonna do that. Okay.
Well, I would say, so she is definitely not your mother.
Yeah.
For certain.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just throwing that out there.
Do we see what he sees?
Yes, definitely. All of you see this. She has very sharp features. Finley, make an intelligence check with a history check with advantage.
$16.
You'd recognize her as Amaciar Queen. A very specific Amaciar Queen. One who died hundreds and hundreds of years ago.
All right. I think someone should do some talking pretty fast.
Talking? I got that. I could do that. Is that what you're looking for?
No. Devereaux, thank you.
Well, you said you needed someone to do talking. Hi!
Echo. New lady.
Why? Why here? Why this army? And how?
She carries, you see at this moment now, you see she carries a staff. She takes a step forward with it. And you see at the very top it is very special. Because where ordinarily a wooden staff might have branches that come up around a crystal orb, this instead is made of bone and sinew, and it has a hand coming up that grasps an eye. This is the site of a great battle. Many times over. Death reigns supreme here. As she takes a step closer, you see she's very tall, maybe 6 foot. All will bow.
You were supposed to help people.
I did. I am.
How is an army of monsters supposed to help those who suffer in life here?
How is an army of mortals better than an army of those who feel no pain? These creatures are under my control. They die only to rise again. They do not leave family behind. They do not feel pain. They do not fear death.
And for what?
Freedom. From the oppressors.
Freedom for who? Not them.
Their souls have already gone. The freedom is from those who hold those souls hostage.
And who would that be?
Perhaps not as clever as I imagined. I hear you found my book.
We have. Although, if you're talking about what I think you're talking about, perhaps you're not as clever as I thought you would be.
No.
Because what in the actual world do you think you will accomplish with an army of the previously dead against gods? Some of whom have authority over death to some extent.
They think they do.
And if they don't, who does? And if they're held hostage, where would these souls go?
She takes her free hand and reaches into a large bag at her side and pulls out a familiar leather-bound book, questionably leather-bound book, and begins to flip through the pages. The Raven Queen, my favorite. I love the notes in here about her. She closes it, sets it back in her bag.
Kiri, Devereux. Is that what I think it is?
That very well might be.
So what now?
She looks at the cliff behind you. And then at each of your faces. Now, you try and stop me. I dare you. I would kill to see you try. I go roll an insight check.
Go. Insight, you say. 25.
I would also like to cast Sending.
Go ahead. Who would you like to cast it to?
Echo, give me one reason to trust you.
Before you do... Okay, that's fine. It goes through.
To me? Was that sending to me?
You're the only Echo I know.
Okay. I cast Hunter's Mark.
On.
The one that looks like my mother.
She laughs. Not now, silly. When you are stronger. I will kill you now.
I'm rushing in, rapier drawn.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
She reaches out a hand and casts Power Word Kill. Echo drops dead. She looks at you, Finley.
I'm going to rush to Echo's side. No weapons drawn.
Go on. Bring him back.
Why? So you can kill him again?
No. He needs you. You need him. That sword on your back. You all have purpose. Live up to it.
As she's talking, Finley's already dumping her jewelry bag.
Sure.
And she will kind of clasp his hands over his chest around a diamond, and put one of her hands on his forehead and the other on his two hands, and you fucking bitch, and I cast Revivify. That being directed at his not mother, not at Echo.
Sure. At the Mad Lich King.
At the Mad Lich King, yes.
Okay. Please make a spellcasting check. You do have a crit. You want to use that?
Yes, please.
Okay. Finley, is your soul willing and able? Not Finley. Echo, is your soul willing and able to return to its body?
Yeah.
It's momentary. The blackness. Echo. Impossibly silent. As one moment you are awake and the next you are not. You watch your consciousness rise above your limp body in the snow. No blood, no gore. Just a corpse. Just the quiet. Just emptiness. You see Finley press her hands to your form, and before you can even reach some greater void, some greater darkness, some greater abyss, you are pulled back down. And your eyes open.
They open slowly.
Would you like to try again?
I'm looking at Finley. You're there, right?
Oh, yeah.
Open, my eyes open, looking directly into Finley's. I'm so sorry.
Gotta go.
Gets back up. I will stop you. My queen.
She smiles. It took me a long time to remember who I was. To remember my family. To remember why I did this. To remember why I became what I am. But seeing you all here now, it's quite clear.
I would reach out to take Echo's hand and pull him back towards the others. We have to go.
I will follow, but change my expression looking in at her, not Finley, my queen, will go from anger to sadness as I turn away. I owe you 3 an explanation.
Maybe later?
Yeah.
When we're-
No,
when
you
we're-
do. Not now.
When we're safe.
If we're safe.
Oh, and Prince, give your queen my regards.
I most certainly will. If you permit, I do have a question for you.
Anything.
Of all people, why Ektiarn?
Roll a, go ahead. Roll a persuasion check.
Sure. I mean, I of all people understand he can be a son of a bitch, but not high on my priority list. Oh, that's great. That's 18 plus persuasion. 26 total.
Ektion was weakened by a deal with the Summer Court. He was an easy target for a trial run of a ritual I am perfecting. The others will follow. Unless you stop me.
Forgive me for saying it, but it almost sounds like you want us to.
I would like you to try. Give
Why?
me finally a worthy opponent. Most lives are inconsequential, snuffed out with a word. Just like you saw. Give me someone worthy, capable, determined. Do your worst. Any other questions?
Can we go now?
You are the masters of your fate. If you go to leave, she will not stop you.
Before we go, can I take a look out over the cliff and try to observe as much as I can about what we're looking at here?
Make an intelligence check. Make a wisdom
I'll see-
check.
Okay, that's marginally better, actually. Oh, that's a 4. That's bad. I'm gonna use an advantage on that.
Okay.
Oh, that's a hell of a lot better. That's 19 plus... Oh, actually plus 0. So 19.
Okay. Yeah. I'd say you get a pretty good idea of what you're looking at.
Okay.
Oh, Devereaux, Thistlebrook, is your father well?
That's an interesting question.
I would
Oh.
check.
What?
She just smiles.
I'll look at Kiri. We have to go.
Go again.
Do have to go.
DM, I do have a question.
Ren, I do have an answer. And the corruption is fulfilled now, by the way.
Oh, lovely. So we're in this valley. There's these massive walls, and down below us in this basin, there are more undead.
Mm-hmm.
From our vantage point, is there, say, giant rock faces that are over the basin, way off in the distance?
What are you trying to accomplish?
I'm debating the merits of a rock slide.
You can certainly try.
I said debating.
You can certainly try. The setting is correct for it.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go now. And I'll try and get everyone the F out of here.
Finley is on board.
As am I.
You track your hearts and your throats back through, following your own trail, back through the valley between the two massive mountains. The next time you look back behind you, the Mad Lich King is gone. Although perhaps, maybe you have discovered another name. A truer name. The Lich Queen. You're muted, Christian, or we can't hear. Or we're muted, Cap, we can't hear you.
Yeah, without saying a word, Echo starts creating or gathering stuff for a campfire for later. Just on the way, wherever we're walking. It's this 1,000-yard stare.
How many hit points did Echo come back with?
1.
1. Okay, can I put my 30 points of lay on hands into him?
Yes.
Right. I'll just kind of walk up to him and put a hand on his shoulder. It's okay now. You'll be okay. And you get 30 hit points.
I imagine y'all are silent as you make your way back to some semblance of safety the rest of the day. Let me get you on a music change. By the time night falls, you are pretty far away. Echo's ranger abilities ranger abilities are able to guide you all through this mountainous terrain to a place where you feel as far as you can be. The night is yours, Death's Keepers.
I owe you all an explanation. You know me as Echo. As tieflings go, pretty standard that I choose a name. It's actually some good fortune that I was born this way. It would be much, much harder to go by a different name, my true name. I was born as Venser Massier. The royal family. My mother, Eliana Massier. I don't know if you know her. Before I was born, she was exiled, banished out of the royal family. By her own father. You all know the tale, the history of Zendaria Massier. First queen of Sinmaria. She dabbled in necromancy, dark magics. From what I understand, it was help people. At least that's what I was told by my mother. She was exiled for the same reason that Zendaria was. She taught me everything. She taught me etiquette. She taught me manners. We moved around, hiding. We could not be associated with the royal family. The dangers that would bring. News that another Massier was practicing necromancy. Unheard of. Should be dragged in the streets. And so we hid. But she still did her work. She worked so hard to eradicate the stigma behind necromancy. It is powerful magic. Finley, you just brought me back. My mother's too old now to do the work, and so I've inherited it.
Are you telling me right now what is the work you're doing right now, Echo? I want to hear it. I want to hear you say it.
I am eradicating monsters. Those that would seek to bestow harm to humanity, to living. There's too much suffering in this world already. And I just want it to put good into it. By taking out the bad. I'm sorry I hid this from you. It's what I know, it's what I was taught. It's safer this way. That's why people recognize me so many times. Please, don't tell anyone.
I can't promise that now. I need to think on this. I can't even say thank you for telling us because it didn't really come out like that. But I need to think on this. I can't give you an answer now. I'm sorry. Finley's going to walk away.
And you too?
I do have to admit, when you said you were continuing your mother's work, I was a little bit concerned because, well, I didn't know if by continuing her work you meant you raised dead on the side or something like that. But I have no issue with what just happened. That is not the kind of information that I would expect somebody to share with me if we have only known each other for a week and a half. My opinion about you, Echo, has not changed.
I've just been listening. Seated around whatever central area we have at camp. Honestly, parentage and lineage, it doesn't make a big difference to me about who you are. So, if you needed a secret, I'll keep my mouth shut and do what I can to help you. But you do know this is going in my memoirs, right? Don't worry, I'll change all the names for your sake. That's a bit of humor.
Thank you. I need some time to think.
Take all the time you need.
When Finley gets back, can you give her this? And I pull out. It's a tiny coin purse. It's not enough to cover the diamond. And I'll walk off towards, I'd say in the opposite direction, but not too far away that I couldn't be called. I'm within shouting distance.
Alex, what are you doing?
What?
Nothing, I'm just reading your web captions. With Finley and Echo having walked in separate direction, that just leaves Kiri and Devereaux.
Dev? How are you feeling?
Honestly, probably should have just kept my mouth shut.
I understand that. Do you know how to contact your father?
I don't. I'd be lying if I said I was. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't worried about him.
No, I certainly understand that.
He's a bit of an ass, but he's my dad.
Yeah.
God. You don't think he was in that basin, do you?
I don't. I genuinely don't. If even half of what Tess told us about your father is true, I think there would need to be many more Lich Queens to need to deal with your father.
I hope you're right. You know, when I said I wanted to be famous, I didn't want to be Mad Lich King famous. No one warned me that would be one of the side effects.
So, how did you want to be famous?
You know, I'm not really sure at this point. I suppose it was just one of the last vestiges of a childhood dream. I guess at this point I'll just take being able to make my own decisions without feeling bad about it.
Well, I don't know what happens next, but Wolfcrest is, as I understand it, a big place, so once we get there, I'll do everything I can to see if we can find some way to contact your dad.
Thanks. I'd write him a letter, but I don't think anyone could deliver it to him.
Yeah, you'd need quite the courier. Do you want to keep doing this?
You might want to be more specific, because right now I'm thinking you mean having an existential crisis in front of a campfire in the middle of a snowy mountain.
No, I don't think anybody wants to keep doing that, but I meant... traveling down whatever path we're on that leads us to confrontations with beings like that.
At this point, it almost feels like the choice has been made for me. That creature knew our names. It knew of us. And she just destroyed Echo without more than a single word. If I'm supposed to fight it, even if it's just some sick, twisted game, I guess that's kind of where I'm headed, huh?
Maybe. Right now. Probably. But you did also say that we were in control of our own fate. We got to walk away. Would you rather keep walking?
No. Because how long do I have to keep walking until that path crosses again? I'd rather be ready next time.
Yeah, me too.
And that, my friends, is where we will call it today. Death's Keepers, you've earned a level.
Woo! Woo!
You okay over there, Kappa?
Oh yeah, no, I'm great. I
Yeah?
am wonderful. Aces, 100%, 200% even.
Yeah?
My character just died. We're good.
I need that moment captured in art. Let's go ahead and do our sign-offs. I would like someone to impersonate Eva, though. Hi, I'm Eva. Nope, I can't do it. You can find me on Twitter at @TheEviscerate. I'm spectacular and gorgeous, and everybody loves me. And I'm awesome in every way possible.
You can find Eva on twitch.tv/eviscerate, EVASERRATE. Lots of projects are coming on the way, especially during around mid-December. Look out for that. There's a bunch of stuff coming along.
And Eva's favorite moment. I don't know. We'll have to ask her. Who wants to sign off next?
I'll go. Hi, I'm Ren. You can find me on Twitch and Twitter at Thorny Dryad. It's like a prickly bush. Thank you. And I am, besides here on Sundays, I am part of a 5e city campaign that is hosted on the 2nd and 4th Saturdays of every month over on actually Eva's channel. So come check that out next week on Saturday at 11 a.m. Eastern. I am also the voice of a character 8 in a podcast called Roads Uncharted, which can be found on Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. Or you can check us out on Simplecast. Just look for Roads Uncharted. We're currently doing our Season 2 recordings, so keep your eyes peeled for us on Twitter and other places for information. My favorite part about today is as much as I hate it, I loved the awful image of just thousands and thousands of shambling horrors in the bottom of a mountain basin, and I hate it. Thanks.
You're welcome. Thank you, Ren. Kappa, you're unmuted.
Was that?
You're unmuted. Why don't you go?
Yeah. Hello, I'm Kappa. So go by Christian. I played Echo, or now we can say it. I played. I was about to say Echo again. I played Venser Massiere today. You can find me on Twitter at the Kappa Chris, where I geek out about my character death and just all other nerd-related things. Saturdays at 5:30 Pacific, you can catch me on this channel, streaming Numenera as Verve, the risk-taking Jack who touches the ding-dang sky. who I don't think has an alter ego, but I don't know, maybe. Wednesday nights I stream on Kevin Kudo's channel for a D&D 5e Skinned as Star Wars campaign, where it's me and a bunch of really cool voice actor people. And along with Ren here, I'm going to be in season 2 of Roads Uncharted. So look out for that once the recordings are done, start uploading. Yeah. My favorite moment was dying. That whole moment of just the big reveal of who the Lich King is, kind of in the background. I didn't see it coming. And then I died.
Thank you, Grandpa. Alex, take it away.
Hello, everybody. Hey, hi, howdy. I am Alex. You can find me on Twitter at AxolotLCure. I do this every Sunday, and on 8:30 Eastern Time on Saturday nights, I run a game of Numenera, which is a science fantasy game that takes place on Earth 1 billion years in the future, which has some excellent players in it, including Kappa, who's a regular player on that game. And although she is no longer on screen right now, Eva has been guesting for us both last week and the next time we play, which will be next week. So definitely come check that out. It's a super fun system. It's super cool. It's great system, and just great group of people.
Beautiful art.
Yeah. Oh yes, amazing art by at Triangle Art DW. I think is their full tag on Twitter.
They did our art
the art on here. Yes. So no, if you need character commissions, definitely check him out. He does really good art. And yeah, I think that's all I've got. Favorite moment of the session, kind of meta, but seeing the full corruption all at once. That was the funniest shit I have seen in my entire life. I loved that. I found that to be incredibly fun.
You're welcome.
I'm probably the only one, but
Thank you, Graham.
Thank you, Graham.
Yeah, Graham. Thanks.
Thanks.
Someone summoning the corruptor? Psst, 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 psst. Oh, now my cat's trying to come over here. Hi, I'm Camille. You can find me on Twitter at CamilleDoesDND. You can also find me on the channel at You can also find the channel at Open4Adventure on Twitter. I'm petting the cat. You can't see it though. He's indignant. Thank you to Graham for our full bar of corruption today. I can't stop yawning. My favorite, I do stuff here, mostly, you'll know. You can find me on this channel, doing stuff. My favorite part today was Echo rushing at the Lich King. That was a very scary moment for me as a dungeon master. And looking at their stats and being like, oh no. So yeah, loved that moment. I think the next thing that I need is our warm fuzzies. Our warm fuzzies are...
Ooh, warm, just like this sweater.
Belle Chavez! Christina! Guildmaster Sev! Rico! Andrew Fellowship of the Tables, Bay of Gift, Boogeymancer! Deborah! Gamer Lives with a 1 and a 3!
Gamer Lives?
G Lives.
And PJ. You got me on that one. Alright, right, we are gonna go do our call outs, but we will see y'all same time, same place next. Oh my god. Oh. Sorry.
Thank the odd once, Camille.
I just
Once
work
in
here.
this-
Bye, everybody.
Okay, perfect. Whew, I was crafting a message.
We are not muted, according to Mindy.